Well, you know what? I'm just gonna jump in. I'm gonna do it. Right.
Let's hope.
So Hitchcock, it's been about a week and a half, over a week since we did our last episode, which actually for us isn't like that big of a span of time comparatively speaking, because we've really had some longer periods between episodes than that. But it feels much longer, especially to me, because I've been in Hilton Head and Wrightsville Beach for the past few days, past week or so. You know, there are lots of different stories I could tell about, you know, being at the beach that I won't tell. Saw several movies while I was there. Saw Spider-Man Homecoming a third time. Saw War for the Planet of the Apes a second time. Saw The Big Sick, which was great. We'll talk about that in Pick of the Week probably. But the trip actually, it concluded in a very sort of excruciating note because, man, like all week I didn't wear any sunscreen, didn't do any of that, you know, and we went on tons of bike rides in the blaring sun. We, you know, went to the beach and stuff. But that said, I wasn't really in the sun that much. It was mostly like walking between places. I was in the shade for lots of the bike riding. So blah, blah, blah. That happens, and in Hilton Head it was fine. Then we go to Wrightsville Beach for 2 days. And by the second day, oh my gosh, I was burnt to a crisp. And amazing. Honestly, like, it's funny to talk about now, but it was some of the most excruciating pain I've ever been in my entire life. I wanted to die. Like, oh my. And so the crazy thing is, I wasn't even on the beach that long when we were in Wrightsville. And so we figured out, right, that because I sat under our pavilion. You know, every time we go to the beach, we put up one of these big tents on the beach. And I sat under that for several hours just reading and whatever, and doing the usual nerd stuff. And
definitely. Listen to them podcasts.
I was like, I only was in the sun. I took one walk on the beach, and I went out and sat with my grandpa on the beach for like 5 minutes, probably, like just in a chair in the sun. Yeah. And like, other than that, I was under that tent the whole time. So then we figured out when I got home that the tent doesn't block out UV rays or whatever. Like you would assume.
There's a science to this. You do not have this specific tent.
You would assume that when you're making a tent, you would make it so that someone could sit under it and it wouldn't burn them. But no, apparently, because a couple other people who were under that tent for most of the day got burned real bad too. And
it's probably like a big magnifying glass. It's just reflecting even more.
I don't even know. Like, it's crazy. And maybe that's why my grandpa got it for so cheap or something. Because it didn't block out UV rays. So, the entire way home.
I got a Big Lots the other week, you know?
Yeah, probably. But so, we took an entire 8-hour car trip back home yesterday. And, you know, the whole trip I was putting paper towels with apple cider vinegar on my legs. Because my legs were the worst part. Like, I've had burns on my arms and burns on my neck before, and that's fine. And it hurts, but it's not that bad. But, like, honestly, it was painful to walk. Like, because whenever I would bend my knees, it was like they were being crunched.
Stretching out the skin.
Right, exactly. So, like, I would be like walking. I was so glad I wasn't with friends or something, because they would have made fun of me so hard.
Like a little penguin just wobbling around.
Like I was walking with my knees slightly like bent to try to crouch. Right? Oh, it was so comical but terrible. And like we got out to eat at this country buffet on one exit, and it was humid and hot, and it was a hotel with blazing sun. And we walked past, and then there were like vents that were shooting hot air at my legs, and it was just it was like I was in Logan or Mad Max Fury Road. That's what it felt like. And I won't even mention like the night before that how hard it was to sleep. That was when
I bet
I stayed up. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to bed, but I stayed up pretty much the whole night. Like I maybe got 1 or 2 hours of sleep where I finally was able to doze off. But other than that, I read an entire book. And then I just sat on Twitter for like 4 hours looking at Comic-Con news because I couldn't sleep, and just rubbing lotion onto my legs because they were terrible. But so
you see, Houston's he's from the South, so they don't see the sun a lot, you know. So they're not used to all this sunburn and stuff, you know. Up here,
it's not like we're closer to the equator.
Up here, we're in Seattle, you know. We see the sun all the time, so. no biggie.
The windy something city.
The rainy
right?
city, yeah.
It's the windy
rainy.
city, right?
Rainy.
Yeah, rainy city.
Rainy.
Okay.
Yeah, get it right. Good stuff.
Anyway, so yeah, how have you been, Hitchcock?
I've been great. Couldn't have been
Better than me, probably.
Staying out of the sun, sitting chill.
Yeah.
What did I do this week? Oh, we had cousins over. That's what happened.
Ooh. Well, I was with my entire family and cousins for an entire week too.
Cousins
so
they're jolly, I guess.
The parallels, they're so similar. Our lives are so similar, just like Justice League is so similar to the gospel.
Oh,
just
here we
like
go.
that.
Here
the
we
symbolism is so real here.
Oh my. Oh
anyway.
my. Yeah,
so,
nothing big this week.
Well, yeah, nothing big for personal lives, right?
Nothing
but
big
stuff
in my
as far
personal life,
as far as the meaningless world of movie news, right?
I know.
Anyway, as I said, it's been a week and a half since our last episode, but unlike with most weeks, there's actually something to talk about this week. And there's quite an abundance of news to get to. We also saw Dunkirk this week, which was a big thing.
I'm
you
right
saw
off
it today.
the hot slate, too. I just got out
right off
2
the
hours
bat.
ago.
I saw it in IMAX 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
But we are going to save that until after we get through all this Comic-Con and D23
Gotta
news.
save the best for last.
Gotta save the best for last. And then I guess we'll do Pick of the Week and all that later.
Jazz.
So, needless to say, this is a more structured episode than recently, right?
Yeah,
like
I guess so.
we did an intro, we're doing news, and then we're doing a topic, and then we're doing, right?
Very structured.
We
got all of our blank notes in front of us. It's going to be great.
I've just got a phone and a microphone.
I bet you do.
2 phones. Yeah.
I'm sitting at my desk, got the computer, got it all.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we should start
still hanging out in that little closet of yours? Gosh.
Still hanging out in the closet. Do you not? You don't use the closet anymore?
No, right? I've abandoned that tactic.
Wow.
Long ago. It's been forgotten.
Wow.
Amongst the podcast.
I see how undedicated you are. Am I right? Are we right?
Yeah.
Got him. Let's see. So I'm trying to
spinning my fidget spinner.
I sort of, because I didn't put any work into this, I'm depending on articles to find like a summary of all the D23 news. All right.
Yes.
But yes, I did find an article that is a summary of the D23 news.
D23 and Comic-Con, both back-to-back weeks.
Which I guess we're just going to go, we're going to go in order. Hey, I just found an article from Wired called Avengers Infinity War Might Pull Off the Impossible. And I would like to read it, but I'm in the middle of a podcast, so I'm going to copy the link.
Okay.
And I'm going to put it into my notes
You're
so
gonna
that I can read
add
this.
it to that read later or whatever,
Is that a thing?
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Oh, okay.
We got this Infinity War post, and I'm staring at it, and it's really bugging me.
Why?
Because I'm looking at it, and I want some sort of order, right?
Right.
I'm like, it's just, you got some Guardians over here,
it's
Guardians
a glorious
over there,
poster,
Avengers
but
over here,
it's weird because all the Avengers are looking away from Thanos, right?
Yeah.
Like, why aren't they looking at him? It's an odd poster. But anyway.
Why'd you want to look at him, though?
Back to D23. Yeah, you
can
see the
man's a freaking dried grape.
He looks like he's about to cry in that poster as well. It's a little odd, his facial expression.
It just looks like he's been sunburned really bad, and he's just cringing at the
and like he's in the movie
pain.
Logan or Mad Max.
Yeah.
That's exactly how I was. Man alive. All right, so I'm looking through some D23 stuff.
Okay, hit it up. Let's do this.
We got lots of news from D23. We got a trailer for A Wrinkle in Time.
Oh, yeah, we did.
DuVernay is directing that. What did you think of the trailer for A Wrinkle in Time?
I guess. I'm not a big fan. I read the books once. I saw a play.
Yeah. Whoa. Okay.
Yeah. One of my friends was doing a play, so I saw it. I mean, it's a cool story. I like the story. I don't mind it. I just don't. Does it need to be a movie? I don't think so.
Right. Well, there was a movie in the 80s.
Yeah.
I remember I saw. We would always want to watch the movie when we were reading the book. We were like, well, we'll watch the movie after we finish the book. And I remember, I'm pretty sure the poster for the movie it's cartoons or something, or like the drawing is very like it's a painting of the characters or something. almost like this Avengers Infinity War poster, maybe like concept art or whatever. And so I remember the entire thing anticipating that it would be an animated film, and then watching it and it was live action and being like, what? Oh, okay. Because I'd seen the poster for the movie, then read the book and imagined all the characters as animated, right? And then they were like, but no, they look like real people.
Oh, got it.
Oh. But yeah, I will say that if there's one thing that I like about A Wrinkle in Time, as far as the book goes, it's that it's very based in science. Like,
yeah, sure.
It's a sci-fi book, but it's got a lot of like theoretical physics and like relativity sort of stuff and wormholes and everything, and it's just really fascinating.
Probably why I didn't like it as a kid. It's probably so boring.
Probably why I liked it, Hitchcock.
Oh,
got him.
Saying a lot, right?
Also, I enjoy the fact that this movie has a very like majority black African American cast. You know, like that's pretty cool. But that said, I was like,
question mark, whatever.
Yeah, whatever question mark, and also I feel like this could be another Tomorrowland on their hands, where like it's ambitious, it's creative, but no one goes to see it. You know, I mean they've got the source material to sort of give it a little bit more boost, but yeah, I hope it does well. There were some things that I was like, that looks a little generic, you know, but also creative. I don't know. I don't really have an opinion yet. I need to see the movie.
I kind of honestly care less.
Yeah, I mean, I'll see it, but
when it comes out of Redbox, I'm going to the theater for that. So
yeah, I'll probably go to the theater. My mom will want to see it because she loves the book. All right, next thing. So, as we know, Disney is milking that cow where they just make a pre-existing movie in live action for all they can get, right?
Because they can, am I right?
And this means that there has been a ton of news this week about the live-action Disney movies. So, Dumbo. There's going to be a Dumbo directed by Tim Burton.
I just can't get over that. That's going to be the dumbest thing ever.
The Dumboest thing ever?
The Dumboest, exactly.
Got him.
Who wants to see a live-action elephant flying through the air?
I don't. That's all I know.
Why?
And also, like, Dumbo
I don't even
is
think
one
I've
of
seen
Disney's...
Dumbo.
It's one of It's one of Disney's least beloved cartoons, and most simplistic as well. Like, Dumbo is the Disney movie. I feel like with lots of these Disney movies, it's so true. Like, they apply to you at different periods in your life. You can enjoy them as a kid and as an adult. Mulan and Beauty and the Beast and all these ones have so much applicability to any age group. But Dumbo is one of the most... It's one of the kiddiest Disney movies out there. And it's also kind of weird. There's like a scene where he has a nightmare, and it's like the Heffalumps and Woozle scene from Winnie the Pooh, except it's even weirder. It's like he's drunk or something. It's bizarre. Yeah. And also, I mean, you know, it's an elephant flying with a feather. So I'm just very skeptical.
Is that how he flies? He doesn't fly by his big ears?
He does.
But
if he holds the magic feather, then that gives him the confidence to do it. And the resolution is, right, it's the Lego Movie thing where he thought that the feather gave him the power to fly, but it turned out it was just giving the power to believe in himself. Yes. If you believe you can, then you can do anything.
Beautiful image there.
Right? It's another orphan story, another childhood abandonment story from Disney.
You know what, Disney? Why don't you scratch that and actually just make something new, right?
Wouldn't that be cool, right? I mean, they're doing Wrinkle in Time, but no
one wants to see a Dumbo. Come on.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for any of those who offended that we don't like Dumbo.
You know what? I don't think anyone's offended.
If there are any.
I've never met a Dumbo fan, right? Who's like, I'm a bona fide fan of Dumbo. Yeah. I've met Beauty and the Beast fans. No Dumbo fans out there. Someone will email us and tell us we're a Dumbo fan.
Oh, here we go.
I was thinking, like, because so many studios have done ambitious, like, new original things, and yet they do them in the worst way possible. Like, you look at Valerian and the City of 1,000 Planets.
Here we go.
It looks freaking terrible. They got two of the most uncharismatic leads you could ever find. Enchantress from Suicide Squad and Harry Osborn from Amazing Spider-Man 2. And they put them as the leads in a movie. And so it's like, I appreciate the fact that you're doing something new and original, although it's still based on source material. But I appreciate that you're doing something risky, but this looks terrible. Yeah. You know, and they're doing that thing where they they try to hide the fact that they're not telling a good story by going, the spectacle, the experience, the wonder, the majesty, right?
3D!
The 3D IMAX! Yeah.
Beautiful.
But that's a side rant that I don't want to get on. Anyway, other Disney live-action things, right?
Yeah.
Aladdin. It's going to be directed by Guy Ritchie, who did the 2 Sherlock Holmes movies with Robert Downey Jr. and Man from U.N.C.L.E., and he also did the King Arthur movie, right? Which King Arthur didn't come together all that well, but it had a lot of style, and I liked it a lot more than some people did.
Yeah.
And so this is the one I'm actually most intrigued by, actually. They announced that Will Smith is playing the genie. So okay, maybe he'll have a rap, right?
Yeah. Is he really a genie though?
Yeah.
I can't picture him as a genie at all.
Can you picture anyone as a genie though? Who would you cast as the genie?
Robin Williams. I'd bring him back.
Good choice.
Bring him back from the grave.
Yeah, but see, like, I think the only reason you're saying that is because you're imagining a live-action person as a genie. Like, can you imagine live-action Robin Williams, just the person as a genie either? No.
No.
So, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, well.
But again, I think they're doing sort of a new take on this. That's why I'm excited about Aladdin.
Yeah.
Is that it sounds to me like, with Will Smith being the genie, which is such a vastly different actor than Robin Williams, they're actively making a choice that is different and doing a new vision of the movie, right?
Yeah.
Where with Beauty and the Beast, they were like, just cast all the actors who are the live-action versions of the voices of the characters. Just cast all the people who are exactly like the character. Don't do anything new or visionary or change any details, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm excited that they're going that route. They also cast a guy who I don't know, but he is he's been
awesome.
I don't want to say any race because I'll be wrong. I was about to say Middle Eastern, then I was going to say Indian. I don't know, but he is a race that is not white or black.
I bet.
Or Asian.
I bet.
But you know, he's going to be Aladdin, and I'm sure he'll do great.
Yeah.
They also got the girl from Power Rangers as Jasmine.
Go Power Rangers.
You know, did you ever see Power Rangers?
I didn't.
I didn't either. I heard about all that Krispy Kreme product placement, right? That sweet Krispy Kreme product placement.
Gotta love it.
Gotta love those hot, fresh donuts. Hot and ready. Do you have Krispy Kreme in Seattle?
Oh, yes, we do.
Thank God.
That's
like the stuff of the gods.
Oh, it is. It is. It's like eating a baby angel.
Oh, my gosh. That's simultaneously the best metaphor and the worst metaphor I've ever heard in my entire life. I also heard that the Jasmine girl who is in Power Rangers, she's a worship leader in real life. So that's cool. That's interesting. That's cool. So I guess she can sing.
We all know she's the only reason anyone would go see this film.
Probably. Man, that Jasmine cosplay you'll see at Comic-Con, right?
Oh,
scandalous.
Boy, oh boy.
That's it. My sister was never allowed to wear a Jasmine costume for Halloween.
But you were.
Because the belly, man. The belly.
Gotta stay away.
Can't show that belly.
Oh man.
Aladdin, did you hear about Jon Favreau's? So yeah, Aladdin sounds unique, and I'm tentatively excited for it.
As long as the genie has a line that goes like, how's it go? That's not true. That's a lie. She's lying to you.
She's lying to you, lady. You are evil. So Jon Favreau's Lion King movie. He also did the Iron Man films, as we know, and he did the Jungle Book.
Yeah.
And he's Happy Hogan,
he's liking these animal Disney live action, isn't he?
Yeah. I think that's exactly the reason why they hired him. One would assume.
You did all right at Jungle Book. Let's switch that into the world.
And he's also doing Jungle Book 2, because that's now a thing. Because
is it really?
The one risk, right? Disney made the exact same movie with Jungle Book. They went, let's make the exact same movie as the cartoon, except we'll change one thing, right? And the one thing they changed in the Jungle Book was, instead of having Mowgli go off with the human girl at the end like he does in the original, which, provides no opportunity for sequels and makes the movie self-contained, they decided to have Mowgli stay in the jungle so that more sequels can happen, right?
All about
Let's do something different so that it allows us to do sequels, right?
We don't need a live action for this stuff. it was working fine for the first few, but now I'm just like,
well, see, yeah,
stop,
me and you have both passionately talked about how we both love Cinderella.
Oh yeah,
the
without a
2015
doubt.
Cinderella.
Yeah, that one's great.
And that's because while it is the same story,
it is Cinderella, it adds so much more.
See, I feel like even with it is the same story as the original Cinderella, but I feel like you can tell that they weren't basing it felt more like they were basing the live-action Cinderella movie on the story of Cinderella than it did them basing it on the animated movie of Cinderella. Right?
Sure.
Whereas with Beauty and the Beast and Jungle Book, they weren't basing those on any of the stories. They were basing them on the movies that came beforehand.
Yeah.
You know? So maybe that's why Cinderella is so much better, is because it's not trying to be a live-action version of the animated film. It's just trying to tell the same story in a new way.
Yeah.
You know?
That's what they really need to do with all of these. But
Right. Lion King, apparently they screened some footage at D23 that was like, it was the opening sequence with all the Circle of Life stuff and then Simba being raised up and everything, but in live action. And so that sounds kind of cool, but, you know, also who cares? If there's one thing that it makes me excited about this movie, which it did with Beauty and the Beast also, I should note, and that didn't really pan out too well, did it?
Nope.
It would be the cast.
Yeah,
I would say
definitely.
Donald Glover is playing Simba.
Yeah.
Like, that's freaking awesome.
That's real good.
James Earl Jones is being the father again. He's just reprising his role. But then they also said Hugh Jackman may be playing Scar, so that's fun. They'll probably get Josh Gad for one of the funny little companions, right? Because Josh Gad's so funny.
Oh, he's definitely gonna be the bird.
The bird's gonna be John Oliver from John Oliver.
Okay, cool.
I love John Oliver from John Oliver. He's great.
He's a great guy.
Yeah. Zazu is the name of the bird. I just remembered that because I'm a Lion King expert. Do you know the names of the three hyenas? Do you know their names?
Hyena 1, 2, and 3.
Hyenas in Lion King.
Hyena 1, 2, and 3.
It's Shenzi. And that's the only one with a name. Yep. It's just Oh wait, no. Shenzi, Banzai, and Ed. Ed. Yeah. Oh right, because they go Ed. Oh whatever, Ed, and he's clearly a mentally disabled hyena. Man. Ed. Making fun of the disabled.
Oh my gosh.
So we don't really have that much to say about this, do we?
Nope.
Sounds like they're gonna make the same movie as the original, and it's not even like the best part of this is that they probably aren't even gonna use a single camera for this movie because they're saying the live action Lion King, right? But when all the characters are CGI, is that live action? It's the realistic Lion King, I guess.
What can they do? They can't do anything with this.
Yeah, and not to mention, I thought that the effects in Jungle Book were good.
Yeah.
But if you compare, the animals in Jungle Book, Baloo and the Panther and all of them to...
Black Panther, yeah.
Yeah, Black Panther. Mm-hmm. If you compare all the Jungle Book live-action CGI characters to War for the Planet of the Apes, doesn't hold up. Baloo is nowhere near as good as that. And I guess you could defend that by saying that they're supposed to look more cartoonish and not as realistic in this, right? Because they're supposed to be more expressive. But at the same time, if that's the case, why not just make a cartoon movie?
Yeah. And what more can you do with the Lion King story?
Right.
I don't see any way to add to that. You know?
I also
because it's Lion King, right?
Right. You're not going to add anything to it. And I also there are some of these movies. Maybe what it is part of it's the animal factor. I don't see the use in making talking animals in live action because that's an art that lends itself to animation.
It's the Air Buddies, right?
Right, but
Classic.
I remember I saw there's a what's it called? Is it Journey Home or A Long Way Home or something? But there's a classic movie with animals on the way on a journey to get back home that they made in the 80s. Homeward Bound. That might be it. But anyway,
with the two dogs and the cat.
Yes, that's it. Okay,
yes,
Homeward Bound.
dude, I loved that as a kid.
Well, yeah, but so I remember, being raised on the Shaggy Dog and Air Bud, where they make the animals' mouths move. I saw that movie, and they don't make the mouths move.
Yeah.
And I was like 9 years old, and I was like, the mouths don't move. This is
What is this sorcery?
It's lame. Right. Anyway.
God love it.
But so yeah, I think that the animals being in live action does not lend itself to being good.
Nope.
Because some of these I am more excited. Like I say, Aladdin could be cool because that's a story that lends itself to live action.
Yeah, exactly.
And also they're doing Mulan eventually.
And you can see how they can, like Aladdin and Mulan. They both seem like, oh yeah, you could do something different.
That could be
you
epic.
Could change that without a doubt. You can make that so much cooler. And then with Lion King, it's like, what else can you do?
Well, and not to mention like Mulan and Aladdin both have stories that are they're simple framework, like with Aladdin and Mulan especially, the idea is girl dresses up as guy to get into army to hold place for her father and defeat the Huns, right?
Yeah.
You can do so much with that, and you could change up so much of what they do in the original with new action sequences, probably new characters, maybe more of a romance with Shen, blah, 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 And with Aladdin, same thing. Boy on the streets finds lamp, gives him 3 wishes, meets genie, wants to fall in love with this girl, Jasmine.
Yeah.
You can do a ton of stuff with that. Probably more stuff with the wishes, more stuff with the lamp, more stuff with the genie's power. Maybe they'll give the genie more backstory. I don't know. It's Guy Ritchie. But with something like Dumbo and something like The Lion King, very, very... I mean, I guess you could do more with Dumbo, but why would you? Because it's stupid.
Yeah.
It's Dumbo, if you will. Got him.
So clever.
But with The Lion King especially, like, The Lion King is essentially Hamlet.
Yeah, it's really
the story
cliche
of The Lion King is exactly Hamlet.
Yeah.
It's not cliche, it's just a classic story.
Sure.
And they're not going to change that up.
I know, yeah.
So what's the point? I would I want to talk to Jon Favreau, because Jon Favreau is a smart guy. And I want to be like, why are you doing this? What's the actual point behind this? And they'd probably say something like, it's to make kids see more of a realistic take on their character. No, who cares? We don't need that. I don't God.
If we want a more realistic, we'll just go out into the jungle, man. Come on.
Right, man.
Go get mauled by a lion ourselves.
Yeah.
No, I see no point in making Lion King whatsoever.
I don't. That's...
Because Lion King...
Like I say, if there's what I'm most excited for out of these 3 that they talked about at D23, which is Dumbo, Aladdin, and Lion King, I'm most excited for Aladdin, because Guy Ritchie is a visionary director, and sounds like a premise that you could do more with. That said, you don't really need to make that either. I don't need that. Like,
we could just keep on coming out with, new original stuff.
Right.
Yep.
It's just movies. We don't have to see them, do we?
Nope, we don't.
Maybe we won't.
We will. No, we will
though.
We will.
We'll give our money to the Diz.
We will.
All right, did you see that Star Wars: The Last Jedi behind the scenes featurette?
I did. Yes, that was beautiful. Beautiful.
It was.
Can't wait.
I really enjoyed all the creature design.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, and it looked. It was Star Wars, but it was new Star Wars,
Yeah.
It wasn't trying to throw back to the originals or whatever.
Right.
You could totally tell that Rian Johnson has made it his own thing, right? New ships, new creatures, and it looks so different. And
it felt like with Force Awakens, for the most part, we were seeing very familiar environments and familiar situations.
Exactly.
Like, we saw a few things that were new, but even the new things were very reminiscent of old things, right? Like, Jakku is Tatooine, same environment. Starkiller Base, it's a snow planet, just like Hoth was. We go to Maz Kanata's castle. That's just a cantina, right?
Yep. Got the
but
Force,
with this,
that's Endor,
Right. With this, it's like, whoa, we haven't seen environments like this before. There's like some sort of like space casino with like rich people.
Yeah.
And that's where like What's-Her-Face's character comes in, the girl from Jurassic Park. I don't remember her name, but she's... what's her name? But she's got pink hair in this.
Okay.
Have you seen her pictures or whatever?
Oh,
and she's supposed to be some sort of senator or whatever, or rich and powerful, rich and powerful sort of character. What's her name? Laura Dern. That's an actress's name.
There we go.
So she's playing a character in Last Jedi. And so it's like new situations, new worlds, and new environments that I feel like we haven't seen before, and new creatures, right?
Without a doubt. And you can even tell, even in the posters, you know? They released all those still images, which are beautiful. Just like, so good. You can totally tell it's a whole different, more artistic feel to it than just like the classic Force Awakens, which Force Awakens is great, you know. I still love it, but it's good to see
it does
new
feel
Star
like
Wars,
a product
you know?
in some respects.
Yes, without a doubt.
And the marketing especially feels very
Throwback.
Disney, squeaky clean, like I don't know. It doesn't feel very subtle at all. Like especially like you look at that Force Awakens poster, it's
bang, it's there, you know? It's just there.
It's just, it's just it's just so much to look at and take in, like so many characters, and it's just like, wow. And with this, they actually like restrain themselves and did these posters that are more subtle and refrained and just really beautiful. The red clothing and everything.
Yeah,
if people don't know what we're talking about the posters that were character posters, and all the characters are wearing red clothing, and you see like the bottom of their face, but not the top of not their eyes. It's very nice, very artistic. I enjoyed it. Also, the cinematography, just from what we've seen, looks a lot more subtle as well. Yeah. I really,
super hyped.
Did you see those little creatures called the porgs or something? They're like little penguin animals.
Oh yeah, I did.
Right, with the big eyes.
People are kind of figuring out about those.
Apparently, those are going to be on the planet with Luke. They're his little companions.
Nice.
So I hope that's not a Jar Jar situation. I'm sure it won't be, because they know how to do it. They did it with BB-8, but I hope they're not like.
I don't think
ruining
they can make another
moments.
I don't think they can make another Jar Jar if they tried. Honestly.
No. Well, I think they could if they tried.
Well,
I could if I tried.
I bet you could. In a way, you're the biggest Jar Jar of all.
In a way, I am the biggest Jar Jar in the whole galaxy. Anyway, there's not like a ton to say about the featurette. It's just
hashtag Jar Jar is Hith.
Hashtag Jar Jar is Houston. Houston for Jar Jar. But, you know, they didn't give us any sort of plot details or anything, which is fine.
I'm fine with that.
The featurette really did get you hyped for the vibe of the movie and the feel for it.
It was like a little low-key trailer, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it.
All right. Scrolling through here.
Scrolling.
As we know, they showed some Infinity War footage at the Marvel panel, but I think we'll wait on that till we talk about it for Comic-Con. Will we?
Maybe we just not talk about it at all.
Yeah, maybe we'll just cut the entire Infinity War talk.
Yes, because no one cares.
Incredibles 2 is coming out in 2018.
Isn't it?
June 15th, 2018, right?
Yeah.
That's exciting.
That's a long time overdue.
Didn't you say that you didn't like The Incredibles at one point?
Did I?
I think you said that. Get out of here.
I think it was one of those, I just seen it so many times, you know?
Yeah.
Because
need to go watch it again.
I watched it all the time as a kid, you know? I mean, like, I had the whole thing memorized, you know? It was crazy. So I adored that film as a kid, but you know, I definitely really
every time
good.
I revisit The Incredibles, I am just shocked at how good it is and how adult it is. Like it's got so many great subtle themes and parodies other genres in really cool way. Like it parodies the superhero genre, obviously. Yeah. The opening of the movie where it's like the golden age superhero stuff before they're forced into hiding is just perfect. Like it's so retro and so nostalgic superhero. So like Christopher Reeve's Superman feeling, but then like it, you know, gets into this more moral gray area as the movie goes on, and like there's so many adult themes in the movie, like him cheating on his wife, his wife thinking he's cheating on her. It's like, whoa, Brad Bird is brilliant, and I adore The Incredibles.
Everything
Every
about
time I watch
great.
it, I'm like, this is
score's
so
amazing.
Good.
You know that theme
Michael Giacchino
never gets old.
Yeah,
gotta love it.
Anyway. I've said anyway several times in this episode. Way too many.
Honestly, I kind of want them not to make an Incredibles 2. You know, I'd be fine with it just standing alone.
I mean, right. We don't need it. But in terms of ones that we don't need that I'm excited for. You know, like,
we've been
I
waiting
can't
for
say
the sequel for forever too.
if we're gonna get a sequel, it's not like I'm not hyped.
Oh,
right?
Sure.
And it's Brad Bird.
How are they gonna do it though? Because they're saying it's picking off right where the first one ended, right?
Right.
I'm like,
that's what was interesting. I was
all those
thinking,
kiddos have grown up, haven't they?
It would be cool to see them grown up and see like an aging Mr. Incredible and the kids now have kids or something, right? But no, apparently they're gonna go from where it ended with the first movie. So that's interesting. They meet the Underminer at the end. He's like a mole man. The Underminer. Yes. Yeah. I guess I'm excited, but that does seem like an odd choice. Right.
As a kid, you're like, why? Give me the movie.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Oh, I love it. Best Fantastic Four movie yet.
Okay, so I guess we'll talk about Comic-Con, right?
Is that it for D23?
A lot to get into. That is it for D23. There's pretty much nothing else as far as I know. That's all the Disney things. Yeah. All the Disney things.
Cool.
Right?
Moving on.
All right. I guess we'll talk about this in order of when the news came out. Okay. So, day one of Comic-Con. We
got a lot to talk about.
We have a ton to talk about. And I'm not going to get into like the tiny little details like this person said this about this movie and blah, blah, blah. They said that the movie might come sooner than you expect. They said that I found this site, this account on Twitter today that was called Clickbait Film News or something.
Oh, God.
And basically what they do is they take clickbaity news that you see, you know, where it says like, the movie might be coming sooner than expected, and you click the link and it gives you a date. Like, can't you just tweet me the date, right? Yeah. Without me clicking on your stupid article.
Yep, exactly.
And then, like, ones that say stuff like, you know, the director says the movie's going in a whole new direction. And then you click on it and it's like a little quote about them saying, like, yeah, we're hoping to go in some new directions. Yeah. You know? So this account...
You gotta love it.
Basically what it does is... They just summarize the entire article so that you don't have to click it. And that's why it's called clickbait. Clickbait Film News. I'm trying to find it. Where is it?
Oh, come on, man. Step up your game.
Because it's so good. I was like, this is brilliant. Why didn't I think of this? Because I'd be doing this. Film clickbait. Here we go. It says, so like, here's an article title. James Bond 25 gets a release date. And then there's a link. And they quoted that tweet and said, November 8th, 2019.
Nice.
So you don't have to read it. Avengers Infinity War co-director teases the final runtime. Then there's a link. They quoted that, said, around 2.5 hours. Avengers Infinity War director discusses when the trailer will be released. He doesn't say. Will Aquaman's SDCC footage go online? No. It's just
What's
great.
It called? Clickbait.
It's called
what?
Film Clickbait. It's one word. Film Clickbait. Superman Returns and Justice League Comic-Con trailer, Screen Rant, and it's a link. It says, it's implied, but you don't see him. Oh, yeah. And the best articles are the ones where a person goes, like they make some sort of jovial statement, like a joke about something, and then the people like take it seriously and act like that's a real thing. So like Harrison Ford, an interviewer made a joke, and they said, so are you just going to be rebooting all your classic heroes, you know? You know, like how, because he's done Han and done Indy and done Blade Runner. They're like, so are you just going to go around rebooting all your classic heroes? And he was like, yeah, of course I will. And then this article headline says, Harrison Ford wants to reboot every franchise he started. And so they quoted that and said he was joking, you know? So it's brilliant. Oh, here we go.
Sounds great.
Here's an article. Can Warner Brothers adapt J.R.R. Tolkien's The Silmarillion? Then there's a link. He quoted that, said, no, they don't have the rights. It's just perfect. Like,
that's amazing.
That's more of what we need in this universe. I love it.
Honestly.
Right?
The hard honesty right here.
Right. I
love it. I gotta follow this.
But so that was off track there.
That was.
Really off track. So day one of Comic-Con, I'm just going from what I remember looking at these headlines.
Let's
from
get this over
what
with.
The order of was it. I think day one we got the Ready Player One trailer. So what did you think of that?
I love it, man. I'm so hyped.
Yeah.
Absolutely love that book so much.
So you've read the book.
I'm a hardcore fan right here.
Yeah?
Yeah, you bandwagon.
Does it look like the
book? It looked, I mean, I don't think it's. I think that they release it's not going to be strictly based off the book. It's just going to be based on that universe or whatever. Right?
On the concept.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of like what Percy Jackson did with their.
We all know how that bloody went, don't we?
Yeah, that got me a bit nervous. But yeah, I love the feel of it. I think it'll be great. You know.
Yeah.
Made me want to read the book again.
Yeah.
We got some DeLorean. See the DeLorean in there?
Did get that.
Dude, you honestly need to read it. It is such a throwback to like everything 80s. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Back to the Future, Blade Runner, all of it.
See,
Tron, Pac-Man.
It looks cool. It really looks cool. The effects look fun. Seeing the Iron Giant was cool.
Yeah.
Although that's a 90s property, mind you.
Oh, shut up.
But, like, I'm just worried that it's just a bunch of pandering to 80s references to be like, look, you love the 80s. You love Iron Giant. You love DeLoreans. Yeah. To just be like, look at this. And then there won't be much substance to it, you know.
Okay, then.
I don't know. Is that not how the book is?
You gotta read the book.
The book has substance then.
You gotta read the book, without a doubt.
And I mean, Spielberg's making it, so he usually makes good decisions. But it is like,
it can definitely go the wrong way, without a doubt.
We've had so many properties that have been 80s nostalgia recently, including Stranger Things. But many of them, not all of them, like Ghostbusters 2016 certainly did not achieve it. But many of them, including Stranger Things, have succeeded in throwing back to the 80s, building on what they had back then, but doing something new and original and compelling at the same time. But, like...
See, I don't think I would consider it a throwback. It looks like
style.
To the 80s. It's more... I mean, the whole 80s thing is woven into the plot. It's part of... Yeah, because the whole story is this... It's basically Willy Wonka meets the Matrix, you know? Kind of... This dude that created this video game that's gone viral, he dies, but he left this quest for all these gamers so that if they find the key or whatever, something will happen, right? We don't know. But
so I saw a thing that was like at the end of a trailer, it was like he's in the VR goggles and he's controlling a robot. Is it not all digital? Some of it is real controlling things?
They have like these, I think they're called like haptic suits or whatever. You have haptic gloves, and they make you, they're just like all rigs. There's different rigs you get to make you feel like you're in that world as much as possible. So like that one scene where you see all those like cars lined up, and the dudes getting in the cars and whatever, that's all like props, and then they're controlling it from the real world in the video game. So I mean, it's a really cool concept and all. But like with the 80s thing, it's like the dude that died, he was infatuated with all like 80s. Like, he was an 80s kid, so he would love every video game, all the movies. So everyone's studying everything that he loved to try to figure out how to complete this quest that he made, so that they'll be the first ones to complete it.
So that's why like all of the things in the game are exclusively 80s references.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. But I mean, it is very futuristic too.
And it's set in the far-flung future, is it?
Yeah. It is. It's really cool though. I'd highly recommend it to anyone. So lots of fun.
It sounds like a really fun concept, really cool, and the style looks awesome, and it looks like it'll be a lot of fun. I just worry that it might be a mess and it might be pandering to.
I mean, I can definitely see how that would happen. Yeah. I'm hoping it won't though, because the book's just wonderful. And it's Spielberg, you know, so I'm optimistic. He's done some good stuff in the past, hasn't he? Yeah. He certainly has. Just a little bit, you know. Just a few. I guess let's go through the non-Marvel and DC news first. Okay. And then we'll do like all DC, then we'll do all Marvel news. Cool. There was a new Blade Runner trailer. Did you watch it? There was. I saw it in the... Wait, did I? I don't think it's in theaters yet. Was it the one before Dunkirk? I saw one before Dunkirk, and that was the old one. That was the old one? Yeah. Yeah, no, I didn't watch it then. Yeah, I didn't either. I'm not... I feel like I've seen enough of the movie to know. I'm hyped for it. It looks super good. I'm excited to see it, but I don't need to see more, so... Yeah. Did you see the Pacific Rim Uprising... I did. That was... thing? That was a bit interesting, wasn't it? It was. People were like, check out the new teaser, and it wasn't a teaser. It honestly looks like a video game promo, if I'm to be honest. It really does. It was like, that CG is not finished, I think it was made to be like... It was made to be like some sort of advertisement within that world, within their universe, right? Where it's like,
the characters
sure
were
felt like
advertising
that.
Jaegers to
Sure
civilians
like
or something. I don't know, but yeah, I mean,
we love Pacific Rim, so I'm excited to see where that goes too.
I can't say that was a good advertising. Like, really, that's what you're gonna release at Comic-Con? Wow, hype. But and I think they've like filmed like half the movie already. Couldn't you throw something more together? But at the same time, I'm really excited for Pacific Rim 2 next year. I think
next year. Okay.
Yeah, and you got your Finn from Star Wars. You got John Boyega playing Stacker Pentecost's son, Idris Elba's son.
Yep.
And then I'm pretty sure the original cast is returning. Mako and whatever the dude's name is. What's his name? Raleigh? Yeah?
Something like that, yeah?
Yeah, Charlie Hunnam's character. Yeah, I know that lots of people say that it's just dumb fun and everything, but really, Pacific Rim, I think we've talked about this probably.
We have.
Probably beat that dead horse to a pulp. But, I think that Pacific Rim is actually a very smart blockbuster. And for what it is, which is dumb fun, it executes it with just ease. It's perfect.
Yes.
So yeah,
fantastic
it was not a great teaser, but I'm still excited for that.
Yep.
Let's see. Did you see the Ninjago movie trailer?
Oh, did I?
I think you did.
I don't think I did. Did I?
No?
Did I?
They released a new one. It's got a cat in it.
Nope, I didn't see that. No.
Oh man, dude, it's so good. They released a new trailer for the Ninjago movie where it shows lots of the same beats as the previous trailer, but in this there's more sort of drama between Lloyd and his dad. Also, Lloyd is being played by, I'm pretty sure he's being played by what's his face? By the
Yes.
Oh no.
Yes.
I'm trying to. It might not be Lloyd, but one of the ninjas is being played by the lead from The Big Sick movie, who's a comedian, and so I'm excited for that.
Cool.
But needless to say, this movie has way more like live action elements incorporated in. We see them like on sand. We see them in water. I think we see them in like a real like grass or something.
Nice.
But the best part is, right, at the end, they use a laser pointer, a real laser pointer, and then they have to fight a gigantic, real-life, live-action cat, like a household cat pet.
That's dumb.
And it comes and it starts wrecking the city.
Nice.
That's the best thing I've ever heard, right?
Nice. That's cool.
I think someone said this, and this might just be a coincidence, but someone was saying that it's the same cat from the Believe poster from the first movie.
Probably.
Where he says, I know it sounds like a cat poster, but it's true. Whatever.
Oh, classic.
But I love this because Lego Batman movie brought in a little bit more live action stuff. It brought in like the water. It brought in. They reference other worlds. There's the Phantom Zone stuff. But with this, it looks like they're really embracing the fact that this is like it's set in a toy box, and
That's
it's
cool.
partially in the real world. So. I really enjoy it. I'm liking this sort of Lego movie cinematic universe they're building
fun.
up.
Without a doubt.
It's very much a sleeper hit sort of cinematic universe because they make a lot of money. People like them, but they don't get talked about a ton. Even though they've got some of the best animation out there right now.
This animation looks phenomenal, without a doubt. Even better than Lego Movie, which is on its own still amazing. So
yeah,
gonna be great.
Did you see the new trailer for Kingsman 2?
Oh, I want to say I did. I think I did watch it, yeah.
Yeah?
Nothing too new, was there?
No, it was mostly similar stuff, but edited differently. But we do get the knowledge that the Channing Tatum character, who looks like a cowboy, as well as some of the other Jeff Bridges, I think is part of them. It's the Kingsman, or the British spy service.
Yeah.
But Channing Tatum and Jeff Bridges are part of the Statesman, the American spy service. And so they have to team up with the Americans, who are like the stereotypical American, like cowboys, to fight the bad guy this time. So that's a fun kind of twist on it. I really enjoy that idea.
The first one.
Yeah.
I've yet to see it. Maybe I will, maybe I won't.
It's one of those things where I've seen so many clips.
I
feel like I've seen it, but I need to actually sit down and watch it. Yeah. Especially now, like, I've been kind of binging the previous few years' spy movies that I never got to, like John Wick and everything.
Yeah.
So I need to go watch Kingsman for reals this time, Because But yeah, trailer's good. I thought that both the trailers for Kingsman so far have been very well edited and sort of succinctly presented. It's a nice thing to see. And Matthew Vaughn is a good director. He did X-Men First Class.
Yep. Cool.
All right. We have a big thing to talk about.
Moving on.
Which I'm making sure that there's nothing else we need to get to before we talk about this. Because this is going to be. We have a big thing to talk about, and that is Stranger Things Season 2 teaser.
Yes. Oh,
yes,
man.
fam.
We could probably do a whole episode on Stranger Things again.
We really could, and
the nostalgia, it's already there.
I tweeted as soon as I saw it, like, Stranger Things Season 2 is my most anticipated movie of the year.
It is.
You know?
Yeah.
I am beyond hyped.
I love it.
Oh my gosh.
It looks amazing.
I showed it to my mom last night. I showed the trailer because they just gotten home.
I saw your story.
She was dancing to the Thriller music. She was ecstatic. She was like, the 80s were great, man. It was so good. See that Reagan Bush poster that's in their lawn? And she's like, Thriller's the best. I can't believe they said it to Thriller. This is the greatest thing. And she was like, I can't wait for this. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. She's like, great. And I was the same way. Oh my gosh. It just looks great.
Perfect. I love it.
And again, I have said a few times that the thing that was great about the first season of Stranger Things was that, no one knew it was coming. No one knew it would be good. No one had any expectations or hype.
It came with a bang.
When you saw Stranger Things, it was with no expectations, and it seemed like a sleeper hit, and you were like, I'm the only one who knows this secret of how great the show is, you know? So now we're going into season 2 with lots more expectations and lots more people wanting to see it. And so I do have a fear that it will let us down because the first season didn't have expectations, but it was great.
Sure.
But that said, this trailer is so good, and I really do think that it is going to be as good as the first season, if not better.
I'm really getting, like you said, it's the most anticipated movie, and I'm really getting the same feel of it being the second film. After the first one.
Second story.
First one introduced them all. This one, from this trailer, it really felt like we're going to get a lot more character depth, and with all the characters,
Right.
With, like, Steve, Nancy, and Hopper, all of them, Will, it really did feel like that, and, I'm just...
Well, and I've talked to some people on Twitter recently who said, like, I watched Stranger Things with tons of expectations because people had told me how great it was, and it still was great. So, maybe my argument doesn't hold up.
Sure.
But I am really excited, and I think that as long as... I think the writers are really smart, and I think they get this, and I think they're not going to do things that are dumb. But my only fear is I hope that they don't do the thing that I feared Guardians of the Galaxy would do, which it did in some ways, which is take the things that everybody loved and just
appeal to the fans.
Throw them in your face and be like,
that's your worst mistake.
Look, Eggo waffles.
Yes.
Look, 80s music. Look, Ghostbusters. Look, Barb's back or something, and do all these things that just appeal to the viewers.
That's definitely my biggest fear as well,
appeal to the look at how great we are, look at how much you love the first season stuff.
Exactly what the second Matrix did.
But that said, it looks a lot like it's going in a new direction, and it's doing new things, and it's not sticking within the boundaries of what was set up in the first season. Like, lots of the stuff we've seen of the bigger Demogorgon and of the other world and 11 and everything seems like they're really building on this mythos, and it's new,
really are.
And they're doing something original. So I'm again, it's my most anticipated movie of the year. I cannot even, and I am going to have a party the day that it's released and binge all the episodes in one day, in one night. I mean, hype, man.
And then binge them the next night,
Yeah, probably on Halloween, you know? I mean, and this season has really been so perfectly planned out. They planned that it would be set at Halloween, and they're releasing it at Halloween, and they have given us one teaser before this at the Super Bowl, which didn't give any plot points but got you hyped, and now this, which gives you the basic premise but doesn't tell you any details, and I'm really excited. It's going to be great. So that's
maybe
what I have to say.
The first season again.
I probably will tonight, actually.
I was just like, oh my gosh.
That Movies with Mikey episode gets you hyped for, hyped for Stranger Things, right?
Phenomenal video essay. I love that.
Yeah.
Whew.
I feel like Mikey at times like takes a little bit of time to get to what he's trying to say.
Definitely.
Like, and there's a lot of him going like, and this is what we're going to be talking about in this video. We need to talk about that. But once he gets to like the substance of what he's saying, it's really good stuff.
It's really good.
For those who don't know, we're talking about a channel called Movies with Mikey, where he talks about different movies and TV shows and breaks them down. And he did a Stranger Things episode recently, which was quite good. People, they've told me that, and we've talked about this, that my channel with the film workshop videos is getting to be a lot like Movies with Mikey, and it is. But when I started film workshop, when I planned this segment out, I didn't know what Movies with Mikey was, so it's pure coincidence. That said, we do definitely have very similar premises for our shows. I just think I execute mine and he executes his slightly different than each other.
Definitely.
But yeah, so looks great. Any other thoughts?
No, I got nothing.
Got lots more to talk about, don't we?
Oh, we do.
This is getting crazy.
Oh, man, we gotta.
You said you have to be at a friend's house at some point, right?
We gotta get to it. Yeah. We got maybe 30 minutes.
All right, we're gonna get into the Marvel and DC stuff now. Let's talk about DC stuff because it came first in the day on Sunday, on Saturday, which was 2 days ago. First bit of big news is that the Flash movie, apparently they did like a giant like reel of the titles for a montage of all the titles for their new upcoming movies. But the one that was unique that no one expected was that the Flash movie is called, it's unclear whether it's just Flashpoint or whether it's The Flash Flashpoint. Which would be so dumb that I love it.
Flashpoint.
The Flashpoint, right?
Oh my gosh.
Flash. But so obviously, title. If you were taking in that title, the Flash movie.
So they're seriously doing a Flashpoint. They're doing a Flashpoint movie.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
So.
Oh my gosh. Oh well. That movie's not gonna get anywhere for a few more years. So.
I mean, they don't have it. They still don't have a director yet.
They need some
think
work.
About this. How crazy is this? Shazam has a director, and The Flash does not. How hard could it be to get a director for a movie about The Flash? How hard? I don't even know. But, yeah, look, I'll be honest. Like, Flashpoint is an awesome storyline. Yeah. And they did it on a TV show.
Yeah.
And it was okay.
It was fine. It was nothing too special.
It had its moments.
Yeah.
But in, like, comics, and I've also watched the animated series movie of it, which is quite good. But the thing about Flashpoint, so, I'm open to a Flashpoint movie. That sounds really cool. But the thing about Flashpoint, the thing about this is,
oh gosh,
Flashpoint builds on a lot of mythos and a lot of pre-existing history of its character to give you a compelling story.
Definitely.
The reason that Flashpoint in the TV show worked at all was because we'd been with the characters for 2 years.
Yeah.
And know them so well so that when you see the new versions of them as Barry has changed the past and you see that Iris and Barry aren't together and you see that his parents are alive and everything, it's meaningful because we know what a big shift that is and we've been with them for so long. And especially like in the movies or in like the animated movie and in the comics, it really has even more to it than the show lets on, which is, Thomas Wayne is Batman. Like Thomas Wayne, Bruce Wayne's father didn't die, and then he goes and becomes Batman, and he's like a brutal, murderous Batman, kind of like the one we have now. Okay. Kind of like him. But so there's a lot of like stuff that's very dependent on the mythos and of being with these characters for a while that I just don't see how doing Flashpoint as the Flash's first movie.
I was like,
is a good idea.
Flashpoint, that's too soon. Like, honestly, I mean, that's a huge thing. And
that's a big deal. And also, like, I feel like even that Flashpoint, like, it was this way in the animated show, it needs to be a team-up movie.
Yeah.
Not a solo film. Because it's so huge stakes and such a huge event.
Definitely.
And that's what, like, Chris on Twitter said this. You know, wouldn't it be so much better to get a Flash movie that was like Spider-Man Homecoming, where it's lower stakes, more like he's stopping bank robbers. You know, he has to stop Captain Boomerang, you know.
Sure.
Instead of another world-ending thing right after Justice League.
Yeah.
Right?
I agree.
So maybe they'll do it okay, but
Maybe.
I don't think the premise is good.
We'll see.
That's my 2 cents
We'll see in
on
5 years. Okay.
We will,
moving
won't we? 6 years.
Make it 7.
Make it 7. Unite the 7, like Aquaman said.
Oh boy.
7. As I
more
said,
like
Shazam
6.
has a director. I'm gonna look at what that said. I didn't.
Whatever. We don't care about
now.
Shazam. Move on.
Yeah, you're right. I'm gonna just not even look at that. Other news. Ben Affleck throughout this entire week was rumored that he was gonna quit Batman. And that he didn't like where it was going, even though he's the best part of the current DCEU, probably, or maybe Wonder Woman is. I don't know, but So he at Comic-Con said, you know, no, I'm not. I'm sticking around as Batman. Blah blah blah. I couldn't love my job more, which would probably be easy to say when you've got thousands of fans wooing
honestly.
and going, yeah, Batman, we love you, but you know. I guess I believe him there.
I really hope he does stick around, and I hope they are able to get this Batman movie up on its feet and get that kickstarted. Because that is both of our most anticipated DC movie. Matt Reeves is awesome, he's the man for this job.
It would be great to have a Batman movie that is lower stakes. And that is what's fun. That's the best part of this, is that with the Flash and with like Superman and stuff, they can do big stakes, world-ending movies in their thing. But Batman, when he's alone...
Can the Flash, though?
Yeah. Like, time travel, that's pretty huge. You know? But
I mean, if he's an aged Flash, I don't know if
when you're making a movie with the Batman, it has to be low stakes.
Yeah.
Unless you bring in another big character.
Exactly.
Right? The only times that Batman is in world-ending... you know, situations is when he's teaming up with the Justice League or teaming up with Superman or something. So as long as they stick to making a movie that's just about Batman, this should be a much lower stakes film, and I love that.
Like they did with Spider-Man Homecoming, you know, very low stake, which was perfect.
Or like, I want one of the best episodes of Batman animated series as a movie.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because Batman animated series knows what it's doing. It's like a crime noir show where every episode Batman just solves a simple murder, simple crime, and stops the bad guy. And that's great. You know?
And even
doesn't have to be a city gets destroyed in giant smoke and lightning and big explosions and buildings fall. You know, there's a time and a place for buildings falling, man, but it's not in Batman.
Not here. Not here at all.
Yeah. So.
Oh boy.
They also showed some Aquaman footage, but we didn't get it, so there's not much to say there.
Yep, good stuff. Moving on.
What did you think of the 4-minute long Justice League trailer?
Yeah, I clicked on this. I'm like, so is this like the first one combined with the second? Do I have the right? Do I have the right link?
Is
here?
this?
What's going on?
Oh, I hate when YouTube channels do that now. You know, like so many channels do the thing where they say they go like it's the Peter Parker talks to Tony trailer, and it's like they put a clip of Peter Parker talking to Tony that's like trailer. 20 seconds long, and then they just dissolve into the trailer or something, as if that's a new trailer. Just stop, please. You know.
Yeah. Oh well, I mean.
But anyway, keep talking.
Justice League trailer. It was fine. Whatever. Cool.
Yeah, it's.
I honestly don't have a whole lot to say about it. It was. I mean, it was very similar to the last one. I mean, it got some new shots. I mean, it looks all right. It looks like a CGI mess. I'm still a little bit excited for it. I mean, I'll see where it goes. Looks interesting. So
you could obviously see that they were accentuating Wonder Woman's role this time around. We see Themyscira. We see Hippolyta as like what's his face Steppenwolf. Steppenwolf is touching down. Yes. That's cool. I'm excited to see Themyscira again. That's fun.
Are you though? Are you?
A little bit.
No.
Just a little bit.
I don't think I am.
They also were more emphasizing the Flash sort of humor jokes, some of which feel a lot like they were Joss Whedon. Like the bit at the end where he makes fun of the fact that they disappear feels a little Joss Whedon-ish.
Okay, cool.
That said, I still don't find him very funny.
Yeah.
Not at all, honestly. The bit where he says, I just punch people and run away, or I push people down and run away, that's pretty funny. But, like, Ezra Miller is just...
Be careful, man. You're going to take off a lot of fanboys.
I'm going to take off a lot of people. I don't know what to say.
You're treading on thin water right
here. Usually
here.
I'm more articulate than this, but I don't know what to say about Ezra Miller other than that he's annoying.
He annoys you, sure.
His voice and his entire appearance in the suit is just, like, bizarre.
I will say, the Flash, the running effect looks cool. You know, I can get behind that. Yeah, it does. With the blue lightning and all that. That looks cool.
As well as it's less running and more like he sort of teleports with lightning a little bit. Like towards the end he does that. That's fun. But it feels like a very different Flash than the TV show, which is fine.
I'm fine
but
with.
it feels very different from the comics too.
Yeah.
You know.
Definitely.
Where it's like
Flash... It looks more like almost in a way artificial, you know. It almost looks like his suit's making him do that versus actually him, you know.
Well, and I'm just talking about the character too.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, like usually Flash is very similar to Peter Parker in the comic.
Sure.
He's a very Spider-Man. He's the Spider-Man of the DC universe, you know, in terms of he's the jokester and he's the quippy, you know. And I get that they don't want to do Spider-Man again, but at the same time, they've made Flash... They're trying to make him funny, but he's like this weird, pretentious kid you would meet in high school who, like, sits by himself at the lunch table and, like, is, like, goth or something. Like, he wears, like, a skull t-shirt or something. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it, but he's just annoying, and I can't put my finger on why. As well as, like, I think they're trying to play up the whole he's a kid thing, and like they do with Peter Parker. But in this case,
not really working.
Ezra Miller's like, what, 20-something, almost 30? I don't know. But he doesn't look like a kid. So I don't know. Maybe he'll be good, but
we'll see.
I've been annoyed by him, mildly annoyed every time I see him. And it's not like a movie-ruining thing, but it is just, I'm like, I wish you were better, Flash. I wish you were better. You know?
Yeah.
Because, like, CW... There's a lot of, like, convoluted, complex stuff.
Yep.
And stupid, you know, time travel logic. But at the same time, ultimately, they get the characterization of Barry right. And that's the best part. That's why I ultimately come back to The Flash, is because they do Barry as a character really well. And they make you care about him.
Yeah.
And Grant Gustin is a good actor. So, I don't know. What else?
We'll see.
We see Steppenwolf a little bit, and he's mowing down some armies like you do.
I bet he is.
Yep. He's making some big explosions, big stuff, right? Can we talk about how annoying it is that this time it looks like they've just got an entire, like, abandoned cityscape to themselves, right? Like, Zack Snyder was like, I know people are mad about all the civilian death in Man of Steel. So in Batman v Superman and Justice League, we'll have the same amount of destruction, but with no people in the buildings.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Like, that makes the stakes lower because, like, yes, I didn't like the amount of destruction in Man of Steel, but, like, at least it did give us big stakes. At least it made us go, wow, lots of people are going to die. They didn't do that very well in Man of Steel because we never... Other than Perry White and the, like, newspaper people, we don't see very many actual human people, like, being affected by the destruction. Which lots of superhero movies don't do that very well. Age of Ultron doesn't always do that very well. But at the same time, it did still give us stakes because we knew some people were out there who were going to die. Here, giant city, no one's in it. They're just mowing down buildings for no reason, you know?
Yep.
And that was A. B is that if you just give us an abandoned city, right, it has no sense of location or where we are. Like, it's no sense of, you know, direction or anything. Like, with the Avengers, and I'm sorry I keep using Marvel things as what's good, but Marvel does a lot of things that are good that they could learn from. The Avengers has its final battle set in a big city. Yeah. But yes, there's people in it, and that's really well done. And we see the civilians who are in terror. We see Cap save a lot of civilians. That's well done. But what I was going to say was that they give us a good sense of where everyone is in the city. Sure. And part of that is because it's New York, you know, so we know the city. Yeah. So DC doesn't have that advantage. But at the same time, they set up several different locations that the heroes stay confined in. Yeah. They stay on the street outside of Grand Central Station, which is where the circle up happens with the 360 shot. There's the rooftop and Stark Tower where there's quite a bit of fighting. There's Grand Central Station has a bit of stuff. And then there's the stuff where they're flying around on top of the Chitauri. Yeah. So I feel like while they are similar, I think Avengers does a good job of giving you a sense of where you are in the city and location. Here, like, I'm not going to judge the movie ahead of time, although I kind of am.
Yeah, you will.
I will.
Yeah, but it's inevitable. Like, you already are.
There's just going through buildings in a made-up city where we don't know how big it is. We don't know where it is. We don't know, you know, and we may find out some of this, but at the same time, like, it just seems very vague and very much like Zack Snyder went, I need a ton of space to see my heroes just do cool stuff and knock down things. So let's just give them a big empty city to be their giant sandbox to mow stuff down in, you know? Yeah. And let's not establish any locations or have them remain in any place for too long, right? Yeah. It's what they did with Doomsday in that fight in BVS. You know? I don't know what to say. That's just another.
You don't know what to say. What?
You're right. I have what? I very much know what to say. And you know, like, I'm so I don't want to pick on this film. I really don't. Like, people point to me and they go, "Man, you fall so low. You always try to pick on DC." And there are moods I get in when yes, I do that. Yeah. But ultimately that's because I'm disappointed. Yeah. It's because I love these characters. I love Superman and I love Batman. Yeah. And I feel like they're being done an injustice. And injustice, am I right?
You're so clever.
But yeah, because I really want Justice League to be good. And you know, I thought Wonder Woman was pretty good. Yeah. So I'm not totally against DC. I'm just disappointed in where they are right now and their lack of direction.
Definitely.
So yeah.
All right, let's get off this.
I think that's it.
Rant.
So that's all the DC news that we got.
Is it?
Now, let's... Yeah.
We got a Flash Season 4 trailer.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty good, wasn't it?
That was fine. All right, moving on.
Okay. That was pretty much the entire first episode in one trailer. They just summarized the first episode.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Okay, let's start with the small news. Michelle Pfeiffer is going to be Janet Van Dyne in Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Awesome. Who's she?
She's an actress. She's in things. She's in movies. She was in the original 1989 Batman movie, I believe.
Okay, cool.
I think.
Gotta love those
I might be wrong about that. I don't claim to know everything. Someone don't tell me that.
Yes, you do.
We got the news, and this is Fox Marvel, but we did get the news that they're making a Doctor Doom film.
Yeah, that's interesting.
What do you think about that?
I'm like, why?
I mean the best part of this is this means they'll probably be rebooting Doctor Doom again.
Oh, man.
But that's interesting to me because the guy who's writing it or directing it, I can't remember, but
one of the two.
The guy who's writing it or directing it is Noah Hawley, who did Legion, the X-Men TV show, which, you know, has such high praise. I haven't gotten around to seeing it yet, but apparently it's incredible. So at least it might be well written. Yeah. And I have my reservations about doing solo movies for people, and it's like, is Doctor Doom going to be that interesting without heroes to fight?
Without the fan force stick?
Without the fan force stick? Without Miles Teller doing his nerdy stuff?
Yes.
But yeah, at the same time, if you're going to make a solo movie about a villain, Doctor Doom is the best one to do. Yeah. Other than, like, Magneto. Doctor Doom is a very interesting character in the comic books. And so that sounds pretty intriguing to me.
Yeah,
I don't know.
We'll have to see where it goes.
We will. Like, again, I can't really judge that until we get a trailer or something, but it sounds intriguing to say the least. Just like the Aladdin movie sounds intriguing. Stuff. We all do.
Oh, boy.
Did you see those Thor and Black Panther posters we got?
Both of them posted. They're both my wallpaper right now.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Beautiful. They both look
great.
That
Thor poster was so retro and so perfect.
It looks great.
So well planned. Like, that's the opposite of the Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yeah, it really is.
Poster.
It's not some Photoshop crap. It's like planned. Right. They have all the same poses, you know. It's all just so thought well done. And
then clearly they learned from the other Black Panther poster that was just hideous.
Yep.
Like,
oh, man.
They just pasted like a face of
his IMDb photo.
His IMDb photo onto a Black Panther costume. It was awful. Yeah. I couldn't believe that was real. It was like fan art. You know?
It really was. It really was.
I almost, instead of saying fan art, said fan four stick.
Got him. But yeah, the Black Panther one looks,
man,
it looks great. I can't wait for Black Panther.
Yeah, man. So. Apparently they showed more footage of it in the convention, which was very good. They didn't release it officially, but that sounds cool.
We did get another Thor trailer, which was really good.
That was really good, wasn't it?
We both ended up watching it. Yeah, it had
some
great,
both
great
of us said.
Stuff.
Both of us said, let's not watch it.
Yeah.
Right. But, yeah, I am very excited about it.
Yeah, it had some really cool shots. Like that one ending shot with Hulk going right at what's-his-face or whatever. Like, ooh. Yeah. Really good.
And while the color grading is still noticeably gray and noticeably desaturated, there is a lot of color in it still. And so that's cool. The problem is, like, I go, why? Because they give you all this color. Like, this looks to be Marvel's most colorful film yet, other than maybe Guardians Volume 2. Yeah. But then they desaturate all that color in the computer. Exactly. And it's like, why'd you go and do that? Yeah. You had great stuff. And then you went and you took all the vibrancy out of it. Exactly. But that said, it still looks pretty colorful, still looks pretty visually stunning. Like, the cinematography looks good.
It really does.
And some of the more, like, epic things, like Valkyrie fighting Hela on a horse, like on a flying horse in that landscape or whatever, just looks awesome. You know?
Does. I'm hyped for that. So.
And that's our version of when people see the cool shots in Justice League and go, "Oh, it's glorious!" You know, it's the same thing.
We're such Marvel fanboys. Oh my gosh.
We are.
Oh my gosh.
What'd you think of Hulk?
Yeah, he got a new haircut. You know,
new haircut, new crew cut. Yeah, he does. Nice. It does bother me slightly how Hulk has looked completely different in every single movie.
Yeah, a little bit. Like, yeah.
You compare this Hulk to the Incredible Hulk.
He's a man of many tastes. Okay, you gotta give him some leeway.
Well, and I'm not averse to maybe saying that, like, maybe every time he turns into Hulk, like, he evolves more or something, because like this Hulk looks taller as well, and like he's been him for 2 years is what they said. So maybe he's evolved more in that and sort of gotten a sense of style, and he went to the barber shop and got a nice haircut.
Now, you know, he's got some necklaces and he got a nice haircut. So.
Did they spoil who wins the fight? I think they did. Yeah. They said because obviously Hulk does, because Thor was.
Would you really be betting on Thor without his hammer though?
That's true. Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me?
It makes sense narratively that like he's in his low moment where he doesn't have a hammer and he just gets beat up by his friend. Definitely. You know. So I guess I could have predicted that.
So it's gonna be so fun.
Yeah. So fun. And I like the sort of. It is very Guardians of the Galaxy, them getting together a big team of heroes. But it is. I am really excited to see this team of Thor, Hulk, Valkyrie, and Loki, who has evolved quite a bit as the movies have gone on, as well, to become more of like an anti-hero, sort of man of. He'll serve any side as long as it benefits him in the end. You know. Sure. As well as, like, the fights look fun. Hulk is fighting a giant wolf from the comics.
Yeah, that looks cool.
There was a very colorful bit where they're, like, all in the Bifrost, like, in the portal fighting as they're, like, being teleported. That's
really cool. Really cool.
Obviously, this is just a lot of us going, that's cool.
Yep,
I hope that it's a well-written film with good writing and good characters and good humor. But needless to say, I think it's going to be a fun ride either way. Yeah. So... yeah.
We'll see. Yeah. All right. Fun fan.
All right. Whew.
Done here?
before we get to Infinity War, there's one more piece of news, which I think is probably one of the most exciting bits, which is Captain Marvel, starring Brie Larson, from Room and from Kong Skull Island and Free Fire and all these movies, and she's a great actress, and I love her with all my heart, and she's great in Short Term 12, and she's amazing. She is playing Captain Marvel. We knew that.
That was released last year.
But Captain Marvel is going to be set. This movie is between Infinity War Part 1 and Part 2. It's going to be set in the 90s and feature a Nick Fury with 2 eyes before he loses his eye. And she's going to be fighting the Skrulls, the infamous shape-shifting aliens from the comics.
Looks amazing. I cannot wait.
I can't either. Dude.
It's going to be great.
I was really excited for the lead in her.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Because that was going to be cool. But at the same time, up to now, I was like, this is just going to be Green Lantern.
Yeah.
Because Green Lantern is the same thing. It's like, they have similar origins. It's like an alien sort of situation. Bestows them with powers, and then they fight aliens on Earth, and they have like a suit, and they're both like pilots or something, you know. So I was like, this is going to be generic. It's going to be another solo origin story where they're like, she's a rogue, but then she learns values and she saves the world, just like Doctor Strange. But now I'm like so hyped because this might have implications for Infinity War. Maybe we find out something in the past that influences what happens in Infinity War Part 2. Maybe it's got something to do with the Skrulls.
Right? Definitely. All these films are going to be in between these two Infinity War parts. They're gonna mean something. They got it, right? You know, or they have the potential to mean something. They have the potential to set up something. So really cool. I'm hyped. Looks great.
And it'll be cool to see Nick Fury in his sort of young and youthful state. I don't know if they'll de-age Samuel L. Jackson, you know, because I feel like he could get away with playing himself from the 90s. There wouldn't be that big of a change.
They probably need to do a little bit of touch up, but
and it's unclear whether he'll be like a major character like he is in, you know, Avengers, or whether he'll be more like he is in Iron Man 2, where he pops up here and there, but he's not the main point, you know.
Looks good.
But yeah, I'm excited.
Sounds good.
The Skrulls are huge in Marvel because
they really are.
They start the Secret Invasion thing where Skrulls start replacing the actual heroes because they shapeshift into them and then they like spy on people and stuff. So maybe I think what would be amazing is this movie sets up the Skrulls and then we find out that Avengers 4 is Avengers Secret Invasion, and it's the Skrulls have been in the Avengers team the entire time somehow, or they replace them, or Thanos calls in backup from them, and the Avengers have to deal with that, you know.
Oh, it's going to be great.
That could be cool.
I can't wait.
Yeah, I just think it sounds very fresh, and the premise sounds good.
Without a doubt.
The one thing we don't know is whether, you know, what Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel, has been doing for 20-some-odd years, you know. But maybe she's been in space, and maybe she's just been hanging about,
you know,
there,
just flying around and hunting for
But I do hope that she'll be in Infinity War Part 2, you know. Maybe this sets up a character for that. Right. Like, why else would you make her solo movie if she's not going to be a part of this whole universe? It's not like they'll have her stand on her own, you know. But
it'll be fun.
This also gives someone on Twitter I saw said this gives new meaning to Fury's phrase in Iron Man where he says, "You think you're the only superhero in the world?"
Ooh.
You know, he's been involved with this stuff before, man. It's fun.
Yes,
lots of
fun.
All right, finally.
Dunkirk.
We've still got Dunkirk to talk about. Infinity War, right?
I got places to be.
Infinity War. So everyone was like, are they gonna release a trailer officially?
Come on.
Are they gonna release a trailer officially? It looked like they weren't. And then finally, I was following all the live tweets, and they were like, you know, wait, Kevin Feige just said, wait, we have a special surprise for you. We know you all wanted it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, watch this. I'm like, is they gonna release it? And then they're showing the Infinity War trailer. I'm like, they need to post it. And so the entire night, everyone was like, are they going to post it? Are they going to post it? Are they going to post it? And then...
It was insane. Everyone was waiting.
Nothing. And then after everyone sort of it started to sink in for like a few hours after the con ended.
We didn't want to accept the defeat
officially. Right. Everyone was like, maybe they'll just release it a little later. No, they were not. Then it started to sink in, the defeat, right?
Yeah, it was
heartbreaking. They weren't going to release it. And then everyone started going, someone leak it! Someone leak it! Someone leak it! And sure enough,
someone comes in clutch.
Several people leaked it. Yeah. And everyone started posting this stuff on Twitter and, downloading it themselves and sending it to each other, and it just spread like a virus across the entire Twitter sphere. All the clips from Infinity War, and like you'd click on a video and it's taken down like within seconds. I mean, you click on the next one and it's still up, and you're like, yes, get it, download it while it's hot.
Oh man.
And so then the speculation was, everyone was like, are they going to release it officially now?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And they're like, nope.
For the first few hours, I was like, maybe they'll do it.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, everyone was thinking of back when Age of Ultron, that trailer came out. The teaser for Age of Ultron premiered, and they were going to be showing it on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in 1 week after they announced it. And so someone leaked the trailer a week before that.
Cool.
Someone within their, I guess within their offices or within ABC or whatever, leaked the low-res quality of the trailer.
Damn.
And so that, the next day, prompted Marvel to release it officially, because they were like, that was when they posted a tweet that said, dang it, Hydra, and they played that off really well, and then the trailer was released because of the leak. But at the same time, I think what makes this different is that they had plans to release it within a week anyway. Like, they weren't here. We don't know when they're going to release it, and it seems likely that they are not planning on it for several months, because they don't want to take attention away from Ragnarok. So it started to sink in there, and I was like, I don't think they're going to release it officially, and they never did.
No.
And I guess they're just hoping that it blows over and nobody sees the leak trailer, which everyone has.
Which everyone's seen already. Oh well.
Yeah. But
whatever.
What did you think of the leaked trailer, man? What did you think?
Looks jolly.
Does look jolly.
I want to see the real thing. Gotta wait till we see the real thing to be like.
It is like, it's funny. Like, I'm like, I get all the stuff that's in the trailer. Like, I've seen it all. But at the same time, I feel like I haven't seen any of it, because I haven't seen it in high def.
Exactly.
And there have been several things where I've like paused a thing to try to see something, and I'm like
a
I can't even tell what it is. It's just a blurry mess, like
Black
Panther's fighting some sort of four-legged beast, and I'm like, I want to see what that is, but I can't tell because it's just a mess, Whereas if they'd released it officially, we'd have the comic book movie article the next day that was like 200 HD screenshots from the Infinity War trailer.
Amazing. Oh man.
That said, looks great.
Yeah.
The stuff that intrigues me isn't really the big battle at the end, know. And in fact, some of the problems that I have with the Justice League battle, which I just said about the whole location and the giant landscape to fight, I have with the Infinity War battle also.
Sure.
Sure. Because it looks like the same deal where they're in like an apocalyptic abandoned planet, and now they're just gonna fight and slam things into each other.
That said, it's super low res and we can't tell what the heck's going on.
It's true. Yeah.
We can't really say too much, but I definitely see where you're going.
But yeah, so I do worry about that. Although I care about the characters, which makes it a little different here. But like what I was gonna say,
it is Infinity War, so it's not like
it is Infinity War, and we've been building up to this for so long.
And there hasn't really been a big thing like BVS in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Well,
right,
and I get the difference is that Justice League feels stale because we've seen it twice.
Yeah, exactly.
Or even like 3 times already. With 4 times. Like every single one of DC's movies ends with a character fighting a big CGI villain in some sort of abandoned atmosphere. Sure. Suicide Squad included, But
Terrible.
Especially Batman v Superman and Wonder Woman and Man of Steel, and
all of them.
It looks like Justice League, you know.
Yeah.
So it feels stale there because we've seen it a million times now. Even though it does look very well shot, I will admit. But here, we haven't seen You know, we've seen them fighting armies, and we've seen them in cities. And Age of Ultron did have the stupid asteroid thing, which was so dumb. I hated it with my entire heart, you know.
Whatever. Yeah.
But we haven't had them all fighting one villain in that sort of situation. So while I have the same problem, I can let it blow over a little more because we haven't seen it before, you know. And it'll be awesome to see all the heroes team up, like Doctor Strange and Star-Lord and all the Guardians, all the Avengers, everything. Peter Parker there. I'm so excited to see Spider-Man in a situation. Yeah. Just, oh, man.
It's going to be great. I need the trailer, honestly.
What I was going to say, though, was I realized my entire point got swept under the rug.
Oh, man. Keep on going.
My point was going to be that the final battle isn't what intrigues me as much as the sort of second act, like, mini fights. Like, that's always the thing. Like, in most trailers, you see a lot of the final battle going in. Definitely. You know, you see a lot of them fighting armies and stuff. But here, and this included, but the thing that you don't see in most movies is the second act and is like the sort of ground level missions that they have to go through. Like when Bucky and Black Panther fight and the sort of tunnel chase in Civil War. And like, you know, I like that stuff because you don't know what the situation's going to be. And here it looks like they're going to have to fight like some ground troops, you know, like Black Panther and Bucky have like an army and they're fighting like some sort of like beast that Thanos sends, crazy. You know?
Yeah.
Steve Rogers has a beard.
Yes, that's great.
Falcon does like a kick flip punch to like some sort of beast or something. Sounds cool to me. And I'm looking forward to that stuff because that's more ambiguous as to what it'll be. As well as this shows that Civil War had impact, you know?
Yeah.
People really act like Civil War has no consequences because Steve apologizes to Tony at the end. Yeah. But still, Steve had to go into hiding. Yeah. And it looks like Vision's in a cage somewhere. Yeah. Steve has a beard, and
it does seem like Tony's a bit still sour at Steve, you know?
It does look like that, yeah. And
he's not
Steve, we never see Cap with a shield in this yet.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Maybe he'll have a new shield, right? That they mentioned in Homecoming. Wouldn't that be cool?
Maybe.
So I think this proves that Civil War had some stakes. And when we meet the Avengers in Infinity War, half of them are going to be hiding out in places and sort of off the grid.
It's going to be so fun to see them come together, though.
Yeah. Coming back together. The tagline of this should be reassemble, you know? Yeah. Because they're so torn apart right now.
Yeah, they really are.
And it even looks like, because Thor hits the Guardian's windshield, like he's going to be at his low moment. We don't know if that's after Ragnarok he gets thrown into space or something, or maybe that's just something that happens at the beginning of this.
Just something that happens, you know. He just fell asleep at the wheel, you know.
Yeah. So
looks great.
I'm excited. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah,
looks cool, looks fun. Love these characters. Can't wait to see them interact. Yeah. And I think that the Russo brothers, while it's going to be tough, will do a good job of balancing these heroes.
Let's hope so.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
I just hope that Thanos doesn't die because of an omelet joke or a dance-off, bro. I hope it's actual dark twist. I don't know.
Who do you want to take down Thanos?
Well,
do you want it to be a team effort, or do you want someone solo to come on top?
Well, all I know is I don't want it to be that they all use their powers and shoot an energy beam at him. And then he explodes, and he like gets reduced to a skeleton, and then he explodes. Yeah. God, I hate X-Men Apocalypse. But people say like Drax or Nebula should defeat him. Nah. And that makes sense narratively, because Drax needs to get back for his family, and Nebula is his daughter, and she wants to kill him. She says that at the end of Guardians 2. But at the same time, those are two of the most anticlimactic heroes to defeat him, you know? And I don't know. But also, like, it won't happen in this movie. I mean, we're forgetting that. It's going to be in part 2. So
I'm sure hoping we see a good Hulk v Thanos fight.
Ooh, yes.
Because
they're the two heroes who are matched in height and strength.
Isn't it in the comics Thanos is like, he actually fears Hulk like legitimately.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be great. I can't wait.
Well, and like we see Thanos, he's so much bigger than everyone. He really punches Iron Man in the head, and it just knocks him down. He like slams Spidey to the ground. You know, it's pretty.
Man, you've really dissected that low-res trailer, haven't you?
I've watched it like 40 times in slow motion.
I'm a madman. I watched it once or twice. Like, come on, man.
Dude, you need to rewatch it 40 more times. Man. 38 more times.
Oh, man. Oh, good stuff.
Yeah. But I'm excited. And I think that it'll end on a cliffhanger as well.
Yeah, it sure will.
Which is why, you know, I also think that someone will die at the end, probably. Probably Tony Stark. Oh. I think it's gonna be Iron Man who dies. I really do.
You think?
Yeah. Yeah.
What about Cap?
Because I think they've spoken about this as being Tony Stark's movie. Okay. As if everything isn't Tony Stark's movie, am I right?
Got him.
But they've spoken about this as being sort of Tony Stark's film. And him being the lead, just like Cap is the lead in Civil War. And so I think that'll all be leading up to his death. And I think it's a great way to exit Robert Downey Jr. out without having it just be that he like retires or something dumb like that, you know?
Go out with a bang.
And it'll give a big low moment and a big cliffhanger, and it'll be a bold move. Like, no one gave a frick when Quicksilver died, right? But if Tony Stark dies, the world's going to go crazy. Like, even people who don't like the Avengers that much, like the people who go to my school or something, will probably be talking about that, you know? Because that's huge. Everyone loves Iron Man, you know? And even if they don't love, everyone knows Iron Man. He's the biggest Avenger. And so if they do that, that's gigantic. And I love if that's the risk that they take, as well as it'll give them a nice low moment, a nice cliffhanger, and the Avengers...
It'd be great motivation, too.
It'd be great motivation. We have to avenge Tony Stark.
Yeah.
And it gives Cap that moment where maybe he runs to his side as he's about to die. I'm sorry, Tony. You know?
Oh, classic.
So, yeah.
Really good. We'll have to see.
I can't wait to look back on this episode when the movie's out and think how wrong we were.
It's gonna be great. All right, man. We'll.
So.
Yeah, it's.
Should we wait on another episode to do Dunkirk?
Honestly.
It's a
long episode.
We probably need to do it.
So. I'm gonna have to leave here soon too. Gee
really?
whiz.
When do you have to leave?
No.
When do you have to leave? What?
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
We got like 15 minutes, maybe. I don't know.
Oh no!
It's not long.
I guess we don't really have to talk about that many specifics with this movie.
No,
it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Let's not do spoilers.
Okay, cool. I like it.
But we'll just talk about the basic premise of the film.
I like it.
So, what did you think of Dunkirk?
I
Both of us saw it. Stop interrupting me, Scott.
I loved it.
I saw it in IMAX 2 days ago.
I did.
You saw it in Dolby Atmos, which is basically IMAX today.
Today
I would like to go back and see it again in 70 millimeter. Actually,
beautiful.
That would be cool on film. But so, I'm erasing your answer from my memory. Yeah. What did you think of Dunkirk?
What did I think of it? Oh, I loved it. Absolutely loved it. I thought it was phenomenal. I came out and I was just mind blown.
Yeah?
You know, it was just, so much better than I thought it would be. So much different than I thought it would be. And classic Nolan style. I thought it was just perfectly done. Couldn't have been happier with it. Yeah, honestly.
Yeah.
Honestly, I thought it was perfect.
What did you like most about it?
I don't really know if it's a spoiler, just the way it's told. You know, it's not.
We can talk about the non-linear thing. I think. Yeah, that's not really a spoiler.
It's not very. I loved that it wasn't character driven too much. You know, it was more focusing on like the aspect of war and all that.
Right.
You know, which I absolutely loved. I thought that was such a different feel to it. It's like, oh man, you see the consequence of war. You see the choices that they have to make of war and the stakes of war. You know, there's just so many things, and I felt like it was so real and authentic. I just thought it was so well done. And like you said, the linear, or how he told it, you know, with like the dock and beach being 1 week, the sea being a day, right, and the air being an hour. I thought it was just like, oh, that's so cool. That's so different, so entertaining. I just loved it.
So for those who haven't seen the film yet, we probably should establish this. The film is told in such a way that they establish 3 different locations. They establish the mole, which is the land, and that storyline, which is with the boy and Harry Styles and all them, takes place over the course of 8 days, or 7 days. The boat storyline, which is what Mark Rylance is in, where the villagers from the town are coming to save people, takes place over 1 day.
1 day.
And then the Sky storyline, which is the pilot, Tom Hardy, dogfight, takes place over 1 hour.
Yeah.
So they basically tell them all simultaneously, but they don't intersect because they're at different times. Yeah. But then towards the end of the film, and I feel this isn't really a spoiler because you don't know the specifics, but the 3 timelines start to intersect and
they start to come together,
culminate in them all being one timeline, basically. They all get into the same thing. So turns out I guess you would say that like the day that Mark Rylance's character goes on the boat trip turns out to be the last day that the boys are on the beach. Yeah. Of their 7 days, and then the hour that the plane is in the air turns out to be like the last hour of that day. Or I don't know how to explain it. It's very hard to articulate without seeing it. But so it is. It's Christopher Nolan's nonlinear thing that he likes to do.
I thought it was amazing.
Yeah. I haven't given my opinion on it yet, have I?
Yeah, no one cares, though. That's the episode for you.
No one freaking cares. I have thoughts.
I bet you do.
As always.
I bet you do.
I thought that as what Nolan intended it to be, which was he intended it to be an experience, right? Yeah. Like a big, bold, loud experience where you get the feeling of this event, and it's the story of the event, not characters, but the event. I thought it was done well, and I thought it was everything that Nolan intended it to be. You know? But I wish it was something different.
Do you?
I hate to compare this movie to Valerian because obviously it's so much better. But what I just said about Valerian, where I said I didn't like that it was being marketed as an experience and a spectacle, is still true of this. Like, I get that's what he wanted to do, but I always, and maybe this is just a personal thing, maybe it's not, maybe it is, I don't know, but I will always stray towards a movie that is character-driven and about characters that I feel for than a movie that is like, look at the spectacle,
Okay.
And I felt like this movie was lacking in that. And part of that was intentional. See, the thing is, like, some of the things that I'm going to criticize about the movie were totally intentional. And so you could just say that I misunderstood the meaning or whatever, I didn't like the fact that there's not much to know about the characters. Like I get all the things people are going to tell me. I get that like the movie is supposed to be more like you're looking at the everyman and you project yourself into that character and you put yourself in their shoes, and they're not given much backstory. And I did like the fact that like there wasn't a scene where it was like, I've got a wife and son back home and they're, they didn't do that scene where they give the backstory, But at the same time, I did feel like it was hard to invest myself in any of the characters when I didn't know anything at all about them.
Well, see, that's the thing. I don't think it was intended to be invested in the characters.
Right.
Like I don't.
Well, see, and again, that's the thing is that like I'm criticizing it for something I wish it was versus.
Sure.
So that's my problem. Is that I've said many times on this show that like I try to judge movies based on what they were trying to be, which is why I always say like I think Fast and Furious I can give high ratings because it lives up to what it's trying to be, which is dumb fun. So the thing is like this movie totally lives up to what it's trying to be. It is exactly what it intended to be, and it's perfect in that sense. It's just that again, so like in that sense I rate it like a 9 out of 10, you know. But I wish it was something else.
Okay.
And so in like my vision for what I wanted it to be, I give it more of like an 8 out of 10 or something, you know. And again, I understand the intention. It's just that I did find it hard to connect with the story.
Definitely.
And I don't know if I guess my main problem would be the non-linear thing. Yeah, because like it was cool to see them connect. It was definitely cool to see them start to culminate in that moment. Like I love the moment. Oh, I can't spoil this. I'm sorry. I just realized that.
Don't
but I love the moments where they start to culminate and where all the timelines start to intersect. That's so cool. And it's so cool to see the setups and then the payoffs, you know. But I thought the journey there was very just like, I don't really get why, I don't get the point for why they needed to do this non-linear thing. And I get that like it makes it different, makes it a Christopher Nolan movie, makes it more unique, makes it a new war movie, but different for the sake of different isn't always a good thing, you know? And I thought that I would have enjoyed this movie more without the non-linear storytelling.
Okay, I guess.
Because you could have done the same thing. You could have done the same thing where there's 3 stories going on and they go simultaneously and they're cutting back between 3 plot lines, plot line A, plot line B, plot line C, you know. Like lots of movies do. And I get that makes it more generic, but you could have done that and I feel like it would have been less gimmicky and less like, let me distract you from the story with how I'm telling the story, you know, which I didn't necessarily like. And I thought that like the non-linear thing did just feel a little bit gimmicky to me to make it a Christopher Nolan movie because it's got to be that way. It's got to be Christopher Nolan, you know, when it didn't really help the story or help the movie that much. And some people have said like it makes you more disoriented. I guess if that's the intention, it did. Some people have said that it's made to feel more like, because like we experience time in different ways when we're in like stressful situations. Like the pilot probably experienced his hour like stretched out because he knew how much time he had left, versus like the boys, maybe time sort of blurred together and flew past a little bit these 8 days or 7 days. And if that's the intention, that's cool too. But I felt like it falls a little bit because, especially with like the dogfights, I thought the dogfights with Tom Hardy's character, they become very static because you're taking this 1 hour time, which usually in movies, you don't make things run in real time. You don't stretch out a small time into a long time. Some movies do and it works. But so I felt like by doing this non-linear thing, which makes them stretch out the entire 1 hour period, especially with Tom Hardy, into a movie, made that entire period feel stale and feel static, where whenever they would cut to the dogfight, I get that lots of people like the dogfights, but every time they would cut to the dogfight, I would be very disinterested. I was like, can we get back to the boys or get back to the boat, please? Because it's just him shooting things, and it's just
great,
the same thing.
Fun and exhilarating. You know?
And I get that.
Yeah.
It was very cool to see in IMAX, for sure. Seat rattling. Like, oh my gosh. And it was made for that. Like, I would tell people, if you're going to see this movie for the first time, go see it in IMAX. Go see it on the biggest screen you can find. Do not rent this. That's for sure. Don't rent it on Redbox, you know. And so I have problems with this movie. And people are now going to go, you hated Dunkirk. You hated it. I didn't hate it at all. It's a good movie. And technically, like, the sound design is amazing. The soundtrack by Hans Zimmer is great. It's really well paced, and the actors are great as usual. The action is amazing. And like I said, everything that it was trying to do, which was to be this cinematic experience that communicates the event from all these different perspectives, it does. It lives up to everything it was trying to be. But I just think that the non-linear thing was a mistake. I think it feels a little gimmicky, and I think that I wish I had cared more about the characters.
Sure.
So that's my opinion on Dunkirk. I just rambled and didn't let you talk at all.
Did.
But
oh well.
Right. Like I always do.
Oh boy.
Got him.
Good stuff. Yeah, I mean,
you have any...
I can see where you're coming from. I felt like with the whole like I mean I definitely didn't care about the characters at all. You know, I mean you don't know their names, right? They're just there. But I felt like that was totally intentional, and it totally worked fine for me, just using them to show like us as a viewer what war is, you know, and the consequences and choices. Like it shows you cowards of war, and it shows you all these like all these different aspects of war that you wouldn't think about, you know, the hard decisions that goes into
that is one interesting thing that I'd like to talk to different people about is did you think that the main boys were cowards?
Well, you can't really say
would
too
you
much
consider them deserters, you know?
I think so.
Yeah. Because I
think I would, sure.
I was talking to my mom about that, who also saw the movie.
It's hard not to get into spoilers with that.
Right.
So.
But she was like, no, I thought they were just trying to survive, and I don't blame them for anything. But for most of the movie, I was going, they are really just trying to escape in any way they can. I mean, I understand that motivation, but it is kind of like... And I think it was intended to be that they're...
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's showing how... It's showing, like, the soldier's mentality. It's like... Right. So it's showing how... Like, how brutal this war is. Like, everyone just wants to get out of here.
Well, and the idea that, like, in this film, in this event particularly, you know, retreat was the ultimate victory.
Yeah.
Which is so rare in war, but it really won them.
Yeah.
And it did look like if they all got, like, I've read some of the historical stuff, if they all got picked off slowly on Dunkirk, we might not have won World War II.
No.
And Hitler even thought when they retreated after this, that he was like, well, I beat them, and now I will invade England and destroy them. Right? But no, they fought back, baby. They got right back up. Yeah. You know? So it's cool. But
really good.
I don't remember what you were saying.
I came out absolutely loving it.
Yeah.
Whew. Yeah, I want to see it again. Go see it in IMAX without a doubt.
I think it's one of Nolan's weaker movies. But that said, to say that it's Nolan's weaker movie is like saying, you know, this is the worst video by Houston Productions. What now?
Oh, wow.
Point being that all of them are good. All of Houston Productions 1's videos are good.
They really are. All right.
They really aren't. But yeah, so that's
Dunkirk, right?
Then. What do you rate Dunkirk out of 22, baby?
Oh man,
classic.
21.
Yeah.
Yeah, 21. It's just maybe a 22, just because I really.
Wow.
I thought it. I mean, it was trying to be this showing war and show how it feels to be in war, and I thought it did that perfectly.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I mean, I guess I can see the time thing was a bit whack, but it worked for me. So maybe a 20, 21. But yeah, overall, I absolutely adored it.
I gotta go like 19, 20. I don't know. I'm also like I'm intrigued to see it again and see if my opinion changes. Sure. I'm gonna see it again tomorrow. I think I might even, if I have time and money, go see it in 70mm because I think that would be just a really cool experience.
Yeah, that'd be great.
But yeah, I want to see it again because there's so many setups and payoffs in the movie to notice on the second run too, and that could be an interesting thing to point out. And I wonder if that would improve the movie. And I also wonder, you know, if I would care more about the characters. I don't know. Yeah, I'm intrigued to see if my opinion will change. And I may wait to do my review on YouTube until after I've seen it a second time. Yeah. So yeah, that's that.
That's Dunkirk, and that's our 2-hour episode.
2-hour episode, man alive. Oh, Hitchcock, you watched some Doctor Who this week, didn't you?
I did. I started it. Are we really going to go on Doctor Who talk now?
I don't think so, but what episode are you on?
9 or 10, somewhere around there. I don't know.
Are you on the Empty Child? The World War II stuff with... Yeah? It's real good. Yep. Have you seen Captain Jack yet? Jack Harkness?
So. No, I don't think so.
No? Okay, so you're not that far in then. No. Yeah.
It's
good.
Good.
It's real good.
Jolly time. Yep.
I was intending to talk about the female doctor this episode, but we didn't get to it, which I don't think not gonna rant about that now. But that said, if you don't think Doctor Who should be a woman, then
get out of here.
Get out of here.
Alrighty.
All right, you gotta go off to a friend's house, don't you?
I gotta go. I'm already running late. Oh well.
Man alive. Were you gonna drive yourself this time, Hitchcock?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, that's a quite relieving experience, isn't it?
It's this dude needs to. One of these guys I'm gonna work for needs to show me what to do while he's gone or whatever. So.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Skedaddle.
Well, I guess maybe we'll try to do another episode next week. I don't know what it'll be on.
We'll see.
Maybe if you watch more Doctor Who, we'll get to that.
Yeah, maybe we could do
or maybe we'll do something throwback to Blockbusted where we talk about best spy movies or something.
Yeah.
Talk about John Wick a bit. I don't know.
It'll be fun.
All right. Say your catchphrase, Hitchcock. Do it.
Wing it. We're gonna wing it.
Demand.
Alrighty.
What even is this, guys? Thanks for listening to this very long episode, and let us know what you think of the podcast, what you hate about it, what you love about it, mostly what you hate about it, on Twitter. just at us. We didn't even talk about the social media. I'm at Blockbusted Pod.
Yep. I'm at nerd_stream7.
Yep. What even is this, guys?
All of it.
I'm gonna repeat it. What even is this, guys?
Alrighty.
We'll see you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.